We... As directors of the Rich Plaza Corporation, must beg you to appreciate how involved we already are with that bank.
And as our controlling stockholder, Mr. Stuyvesant...
The bank wants to lease a part of our property.
Your property, Mr. Stuyvesant.
But Mr. Fogel, my business manager...
Yes.
He always said that I had too much money already, that my health would improve. Well, you take my stomach.
Yes.
Now, it's been months since I've been able to get out of bed.
We know.
Before 3 in the afternoon.
That's why our attorneys were sure you'd receive the registered letter by noon.
Oh, the letter. What do you suppose is in it?
It's merely a form for you to sign, a power of attorney.
So we may be able to act for you in the lease matter.
And having the Rich Plaza a Pine Branch Bank.
Oh, dear, I wish Mr. Fogel hadn't died when a matter like this is coming up.
All you have to do, sir, is sign.
Well, you gentlemen will do the rest?
Mr. Bentley, our lawyer, will manage the details.
Oh, fine. Splendid. Will you give me a fountain pen, please?
Yes, he'll be here any minute. Yes, it's 5:30 now.
5:30? It mustn't be. It can't be. No, it's 5:28. I think I can make it. I hope I can make it.
But the power of attorney, Mr. Stuyvesant.
Every Tuesday at 5:30, I propose to a girl. She's sort of grown to expect it.
Yes, but Mr. Stuyvesant...
Let me see now.
Oh, will you marry me, Miss Rand?
In just a moment, Mr. Stuyvesant.
Oh, thanks. Oh.
It must be very delicate. Something with a very slight fragrance, Mrs. Belknap, so it won't conflict with that lovely scent you wear. Miss Rand, you are clever.
As the attorney who'll handle the matter, Bentley, what do you suggest?
Well, I've drawn up a letter giving the present tenant notice.
There must be no trouble, no publicity, you understand.
Well, I'll go ahead as though Mr. Stuyvesant had already signed the power of attorney.
Remember, no trouble, no publicity.
I don't anticipate any difficulty. An experienced man might be tough to handle, but women in business, like the rest of their sex, they can't help becoming emotional, and once they do, well, they're beaten.
Well, that sounds all right.
What's Camellia?
Teddy, you shouldn't have interrupted. I was
But
busy.
it was Tuesday, and it's 5:30.
The answer is still no, Teddy.
Camellia, you're going to drive me to mental and social suicide.
That sounds bad.
It is bad. In fact, it's horrible. On second thought, I might go to Africa and hunt lions.
Lions?
Did I say lion?
You did.
Well, I could go to the South Seas and be a beachcomber.
You couldn't stand the heat.
Well, I'd just be there in the winter season. But Camellia,
People are looking at us.
you haven't much privacy here, have you? Camellia, darling.
Teddy, you're nice and you're fun, but I'm a businesswoman.
Well, I warn you, someday my children will follow you on the street and point at you and say, she's the reason we have no mother.
Horrible.
Mrs. Belknap said she couldn't wait, but anything you decide to do would suit her.
Oh, she decided not to marry me.
There's a fellow in your office waiting to see you. As a matter of fact, a gentleman.
Thank you, Polly. Don't take it so hard, Teddy. Just keep proposing around. Someone will have you.
Miss Rand,
Yes.
is this the worst time to see you?
I'm always very busy, but I always have time for business.
It's about your lease here. I'm attorney for the hotel company.
Could I mail that for you, Mr. Stuyvesant?
Oh, if you will, thank you.
Oh, it's already been mailed. It's addressed to you.
Oh, never mind then.
Lay off that lavender one, Chisler. I had my eye on that first. There you go again, always muzzling in on me.
Excuse me, but you girls seem to be just the type that could help me in a certain social descent I have in mind.
Those were the James Abernathy daughters, Mr. Stuyvesant.
Oh.
Leading debutantes of the season.
Looks like a pretty good season.
So, I'm to be evicted from my place of business, Mr. Attorney.
Oh, I shouldn't use such an emotional word as evicted, Miss Rand.
Why not? That's what it is, isn't it?
The hotel company is quite within its legal rights, Miss Rand, in notifying you that it doesn't care to renew your lease.
War can always back itself up with legal rights. But there seems to be some question nowadays about its moral ones.
You mentioned war, Miss Rand. That means you propose to fight for the renewal of your lease?
Certainly. Now, if you will excuse me. I'm always very busy at this hour. The hotel will charge that to your account.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Now, as to fighting the inevitable, Miss
If
Rand.
I had ever admitted that anything was inevitable in my life, Mr.
Bentley.
I should have starved to death, Mr. Bentley.
Now, surely, Miss Rand, you must realize that this can't go on.
Roses?
Well, I'm afraid I can't.
If you tell me what you want flowers for, perhaps something else would...
Oh, it'd have to be roses. She asked for them specially. My wife, I mean. You see, she don't realize the hospital costs plenty, too.
I think these would be right up your street, then. I was going to put them in leftovers at $1.50 a dozen. It's so late.
Well, that certainly will be fine. But when she sees they're from the Ritz Plaza flower store, she'll think I got promoted to office manager or something.
Joe, arrange these flowers for this gentleman. $1.50.
Thanks a lot.
If you please, Miss Rand, you seem to like frankness.
Well,
Ordinarily, women don't. But, of course, having built up all this, you are not an ordinary woman.
having built up all this, I don't intend to have it taken away from me.
Oh, come now. It's simply business. The hotel finds it requires this space.
What
so
for?
A branch bank.
There are too many banks already.
But
Excuse me, Miss Rand. I just picked out these orchids. You know, for that extra special order. Are they all right?
pardon. May I use your phone, please?
Yes, it's in the office.
Hey, the big mystery man's arrived.
All right, Polly. I'll fix them.
Yes? Yes. She what, Martin?
Phoned to say she tried to reach you at the office, sir. She asked me to explain that her mother was a little worse, so...
Oh. No, I'll just dine alone then. Oh, Martin, did she mention she knew I had opera tickets for tonight? Oh. All right. Thank you.
You're late. Did you have a big day in the market?
Big enough to pay for these, and a couple extra. That is, if you're interested.
No, I'm sorry.
I'd just like to know half of what she knows about the goings-on in this town.
I wonder if she keeps a diary.
Well, if she did, it'd be the book of the year.
Yeah.
Now, Miss Rand,
Mr. Bentley, this isn't a courtroom.
but if you could only settle down and face the facts calmly, it might be clear that you could
Wait,
gain nothing.
please. I've worked hard to make this business of mine a success. And now that I have, and it's beginning to show a profit, do you expect me not to fight to keep you from taking it away from me?
It isn't I who is...
Is she gonna wear this instead of a fan?
She's a singer, Joe.
Oh.
Miss Rand, I have tickets to the...
I hope they're good ones.
What I mean is, would you go with me?
Well, the legal profession seems to have many branches.
But you're so busy here. I have to talk to you someplace. Are you still determined to write a letter to the Times about that lease business?
Yes.
Shh. I only asked you to come here with me so that you couldn't keep walking away from it till I finish this argument.
I know it. I only came because I love music.
Shh, shh. Women in business.
Lawyers at an opera.
Why, of course we can leave now, my dear, if you like. But I thought you passionately loved Don Carlos.
snobs.
Don't you think there are too many lawyers already, besides branch banks, Mr. Bentley?
Certainly. Competition is excessive in all lines. It's a good thing there's going to be one less florist.
There will be, all right, if I lose that lease. I'm not simply a florist, Mr. Bentley. I'm Ritz Plaza Flowers. I'm identified with the hotel. It's my location, my trademark.
I understand, and I'm sorry, but what can I do? This corporation is one of my biggest clients. May I add, Miss Rand, that their expectations in the matter are going to be fulfilled.
May I add, Mr. Bentley, that your clients are awful cowards to put you single-handed into such a fight.
Can't you possibly be less excitable about the whole thing, Miss Rand?
Not with you balking at me all the time.
I'm the instrument of the Ritz Plaza's wishes, but don't think that I don't appreciate your position. Outside of business hours, I have most of the normal loves and hates in my system.
You ever really loved anything in your life?
Yes, still do.
What?
It isn't a what, it's a who. My wife, Evelyn.
Well, that's encouraging. She fond of you?
Hopefully.
I don't believe it. I must be going. I have to be up by 5.
5? What for?
I'm in love, too.
With a milkman, perhaps.
Not with a man, thanks. With flowers.
Business, she pretty good, huh? Hello.
How much are those long-stemmed roses?
That's a $60 a dozen. What he tell you?
Nick!
What you mean you charge this lady $6 a dozen? This a lady friend for me. I'll give you a suck and a... How much for these now? Well, $4? Ah, well, that's something like. He said $3.50. How you are, eh?
Fine.
Ah, that's a good.
How are you?
Oh, bad, very bad. I no sleep, I no eat.
Oh, what's the matter, Nick?
Because I know here last time you come.
Nick, you're an old flatterer.
Not so old.
How about the orchids?
Oh, I'm very sorry. I got a no orchid today.
Well, I'll have to go to the greenhouse.
That's just it. You want orchid, you go where orchid is. I want a nicer lady, I go where a nicer lady is. Don't do me no good. That's the difference, eh?
Oh, good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Mr. Rand.
What did you keep out for me this morning?
I'm awfully sorry. I got everything sold out.
But, Tony, you knew I would be here.
Ah, that's just a joke. I got for you everything fixed.
Oh, Nick, you are a good deal of an angel.
That's because you're a nice, high-class lady, eh?
Oh, sure.
Well, Tony, what did you save for me?
100 Lily Valley. Great, the big bunch of flowery peach. 500 red carnation. And I got a good guesser?
Perfect.
For you, perfect, sure, eh?
Nick, I want to have a little business talk with you.
Business, sure. We go have coffee, huh?
Yes. Bye, Tony.
Goodbye, Mr. Rand.
I could do a cup of java.
Okay, boy.
Thank you, Nick. Here's my check for this month's installment on the loan.
Much obliged. You know, I'll be very sorry when you get them all paid back.
I'm afraid there's a good chance you may not get it all paid back.
What's this?
The hotel has refused to renew my lease.
Oh, maybe they make bluff.
No, their lawyer's beginning to get legal about it. They may even try to force me out before my time's up.
Maybe he's a crooked. Maybe a little graft, they fix him up, huh?
No, this lawyer's too unimaginative to be crooked.
Maybe we get something on that guy. You make at him the goo-goo eye, he make love to you, then we make him come across, eh?
Why, Nick, you reprobate.
No, that's what you call blackmail.
Giving me ideas.
Yeah, pretty good, huh?
Those will go here today, I think. Okay. Oh, Eddie. Bring them over here.
Here?
Yes.
The result of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning? They have everything in the same market down there, hmm?
Everything, including advice.
I suppose in spite of our business relationship, you don't mind selling me some flowers?
Not at all.
These the best?
Yes. Just between you and me, so are those and those. It's all in the vases.
I see. And the prices, I suppose.
Well, a florist must satisfy different pocketbooks as well as different tastes.
Then send me 2 dozen. I'll leave it to your conscience.
Personal or business conscience?
Which is more trustworthy?
The address, please.
Send it to my house, 75 East 83rd Street, to my wife, Mrs. Thomas Bentley.
Briarcliff roses are especially lovely today. I'm sure they'll be appreciated.
By the way, what are they supposed to say in flower language?
Same as American beauty roses. Adoration.
Bill me at my office, please.
Certainly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a moment, please, ladies. I want to point you out to someone. Boo.
Boo!
Oh, there was something I wanted to ask you.
Teddy, go on home. Go to bed.
Well, that's it. Will you marry me?
Teddy, look at you at this hour in the morning in those clothes. Go on home.
No, I thank you very much. And again, no, I thank you. At home, lawyers keep calling me up, wanting me to
Where
sign.
on earth have you been?
I told you I'd throw myself away unless you accept me. Look at them. They're a radio trio, so the one in the middle couldn't get here.
Teddy, how could you?
We had a little class reunion last night over at the ballroom. All my chums from night school. Somebody forgot to take them home.
Teddy, we're hungry.
You'll pardon me.
Look, the big mystery man getting right out and showing himself this time.
Ladies, where would it be your pleasure to breakfast?
How about Palm Beach?
Very good.
Hello, Georgie.
How do you do? Pardon me. Night blooming serious, eh?
Good morning, Mr. Draper.
And to you, goddess. I have to fly to Detroit today. Be away 10 days or so. Would you arrange for the regular delivery of my orchids?
Why, of course.
And I'd appreciate your personal attention to it, if you don't mind.
I understand.
Orchids every afternoon and before 5 o'clock to Mrs. Thomas Bentley. The address is, don't you want the address?
Yes, yes.
75 East 83rd Street. Right. By the way, what kind of orchids were those you gave me yesterday?
Lilicaculas.
Yeah? Well, I still think they're pretty. I like beautiful things about me. I don't suppose you'd have any business that might take you to Detroit?
Afraid not. Orchids every afternoon before 5. That right?
Between the dark and the daylight, when the night is beginning to lower, comes a pause in the day's occupations.
Known as the orchids hour, eh?
All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Draper.
Hello? You always say the perfect thing, my sweet. For 10 days, darling, that's a lifetime. I miss you desperately. I have to hang up. You understand. Goodbye, dear. Oh, Tom. You're early, darling.
Oh, I wish I could be early every day. Like your roses?
They're lovely. It was a shock getting flowers from such a full of business husband as you.
I'm afraid I am forgetful of the minor attentions, but, well, my head's so darn full of courts and cases and...
And you regard them with all the reverence of a water boy for his football team. Isn't anything exciting to you but books and work?
Well, I was just leading up to wondering if... Now that I've reached the point where I can let down a little, if you wouldn't help me learn about the exciting things I've had to miss.
I know, dear. And you are nice. Just like a big dog. Except you're always wagging. Woman wants to be barked at once in a while.
Funny. Somebody I have to fight a case against says I'm barking all the time.
See? You never exhibit any of your really attractive qualities to me. Oh, no. No, you mustn't. You'll spoil my wave.
Defense rests.
It's all very well for you to turn over a new leaf, Teddy, but some of the pages must have stuck. After all, you can't start a business career on Easter Sunday.
Well, there's a man at the orphanage I got to see on business. Easter Sunday won't matter. Besides, I wasted too much time already. She told me so.
She?
Oh, a new girl. She's not the right girl for my social descent, though.
No?
I told her all about me, mostly. She said I should be ashamed of myself.
Poor Teddy.
Oh, I cried a little.
In front of a girl?
Well, she cried, too.
Both of you cried.
Yes, then we danced a while and came back to the table and cried some more.
Teddy.
Oh, we danced and we cried and we cried and we danced all night long.
Oh, I hope I didn't keep you waiting. The children are having so much fun I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Come right in. It's Professor Hippo. The children just adore him.
Oh. Oh.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, watch very closely. Look. Nothing in my hands. Nothing up my sleeves. And absolutely nothing in my hat. Observe me very carefully. I want you to see just exactly how this is done. Bumbo, rumbo, presto, changeo. And here we have... What do you think? Huh? No Easter eggs. What do you mean, sir? Rabbits always bring Easter eggs. Hmm? He wants to talk to me. What's that? Oh, I see. Very particular. He must have music. Tiddly-dumpty-tiddly-dee, the spider courted the frisky flea. Oh, tiddly-dumpty-tiddly-doo, the flea ran off with a boogaboo. Oh, tiddly-dee, said the frisky flea, for what can she, for the misery the spider knew. The spider knew. When tiddly-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo, the flea ran off with a boogaboo. Rumpty-tumpty-pimplety-tam, the flub-dub courted a catamaran, but tipplety-topplety-tipplety-tear, the flub-dub waited the big blue bear. The fun began when the pimply-pan, when the catamaran tore up a man and streaked the air with his goring hair. Because the flub-dub wetted the bear. Now we'll see if Mr. Benjamin Bunny has kept his promise. What, no eggs? We'll give him just one more chance. Mumbo, jumbo, Presto, changeo. Now for a riddle. What is it that's cold and tastes good? And what goes with it? And when do we want it? All right, we'll all march out with the flub dub and the big blue bear.
Miss Tiller, can I please have a big spoon like Freddy's?
You certainly may, John.
Oh, boy. Thank you there, Miss Tiller.
Camellia, if I'm not too inquisitive, would you mind,
Put them in the dining room, please.
Oh, thank you.
Teddy, may I help?
Well, you might take my hat. Look out for rabbits.
Miss Rand, I want you to meet Professor Hippo. You two have just missed seeing each other several times.
Oh, I'd love to.
All right. Hippo, I'd like to have you meet Miss Rand. How do you do?
Well, Miss Rand.
Mr. Bentley. You can't blame me for not recognizing you in that get-up.
It does change me slightly, doesn't it?
Slightly.
Another Civil War, excusable.
Certainly.
I only saw the last part of your performance, but it was delightful.
Oh, thank you very much. Of course, it's very amateurish, but the children seem to enjoy it. I come out every chance I get.
Just to sort of ease your conscience for being a hard-hearted lease breaker.
Maybe that's part of it.
Well, you ought to come more often.
I wish I could. They welcome any sort of entertainment. I know I did when I lived here.
You?
Yes, I've had well-deserved spankings in every room in this house.
Well, hasn't seemed to cure you of wanting your own way.
Referring to that lease matter of ours?
Yes.
You'll get formal notice in a few days, as soon as the majority stockholder executes the necessary paper.
Well, I'm not going to quarrel with you about it today.
Good.
You could still drop in as a customer, though, couldn't you?
Thank you. I shall as soon as Mrs. Bentley returns. She's away on a little holiday of 10 days or so.
Yes, I know.
Did I tell you?
No, I guess I just thought so.
Intuition, perhaps.
Miss Rand, will you speak to the gardener about the flowers you brought?
Certainly. If I don't see you before I leave, goodbye, Mr. Bentley.
Goodbye.
Oh, Mr. Bentley?
Yes?
Mr. Thomas Bentley?
That's right.
They told me at your home you'd be here. I brought out that power of attorney, the one that the Ritz Plaza directors have been crying for.
Oh, so you're with Mr. Stuyvesant, hmm?
Yes, I'm entirely too much with Mr. Stuyvesant. He's a very depressing fellow.
Drinks too much.
Yes, and won't accept responsibilities.
Well, as far as I can figure out, he's an absolute oaf.
Oaf?
Oh, I see you met Mr. Stuyvesant.
Huh? Why, yes,
Well, he's the man I came to see.
Oh, well, when you're finished, come on out to the car. We'll hurry along.
Oh, well, we're practically finished. There's just one question I wanted to ask.
Oh, I see. You just brought him along to deliver this power of attorney.
Yes.
There's one question I wanted to ask about
And all
it.
the time, I thought you were in earnest about not wanting to move your shop.
I most certainly am.
But this is the paper I wanted. Mr. Stuyvesant is our principal stockholder. He just...
Teddy, you...
Oh, is she the tenant that...
But, Teddy, didn't you know?
Well, no, I won't ask a girl to marry me with one hand and kick her out of business with the other.
But this paper...
Oh, I won't sign it.
Well, haven't you?
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you, where to sign it in case I ever want to.
But Mr. Stuyvesant...
The fun began with a pimpledy pan. The catamaran tore up a man and streaked the air with his gore and hair because...
Oh, he was grand. So tall and dark and handsome. But in the second act, she found out he was married. She was kind of dumb to have to wait until the second act to find that out. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
I can always tell when they're married. They have that I used to be, but ain't anymore look. Sometimes you can't help liking them anyway, can you?
I wouldn't know about such things, Polly.
Hey, Miss Rand, that Mr. Draper's back in town. Phoned he'd start those daily orchids again. Said he'd be by later.
Thanks, Joe.
I'll bet he's up to no good with those orchids.
Polly, that's none of our business.
Ah, a lily among the lilies.
Hello, Nick.
Hello, Mr. Corsini.
Hello.
Did you get that spot for me in the flower show?
Sure, I got 'em. But I am awful drunk this morning.
Nick, you're drunk.
Because I am look at you.
Nick, you spoil me with all those pretty speeches. Really, you will.
Sure does me all the time. Say, you know something? You know the place you should have in these a flower show, Miss Rand?
Yes, I should have the center spot. My exhibits deserve it, but I haven't the influence.
Don't be crazy. You got the center spot.
Nick!
Sure, I fix it. Little softer soap, $15.
You
craft
shouldn't
money.
have done
no,
that.
No. You don't know something about it. I get the money back from you because I overcharged you for the flower, eh? So, as my little niece, she would say, skips it.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah. Say, you know something? I got a good scheme that you can fix that lawyer fella of yours pretty quick. Now, all you got to do...
I don't have to do it now. It's already fixed.
So? He's lawyer. Maybe you better fix him anyhow, eh?
Oh, he's not such a bad... Nick.
Huh?
Let Joe show you those new transparent delivery boxes.
Oh, sure, Mike. I want to see that anyhow.
Good morning, Mr. Bentley.
Good morning, Miss Rand.
Have you been notified about the renewal of my lease?
Yes. I did sound pretty silly, I guess, swearing I'd evict you in the face of your close friendship with Mr. Stuyvesant. But, of course, we didn't know.
I didn't know that Mr. Stuyvesant was the owner either. That gives you a faint idea of how close our friendship is. Do you wish to see some flowers, Mr. Bentley?
No, I'll leave them to you. It's a table arrangement. Can you handle it yourself?
I'd be glad to.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I'll make a sketch of it. That is, if I can remember it after 3 years. It's for my wedding anniversary dinner.
Mrs. Bentley returned then?
Yes, this morning. Her mother's in a sanitarium. She's taken another turn for the worse, poor woman. Now, here in the center, I want roses encircled by gardenias and... Oh, what are those tiny little flowers on stems? You know, let's see. Like those things there. What are those things?
Lilies of the valley.
Yes, lilies of the valley. Roses encircled by gardenias and lilies of the valley. I want everything just as it was, you know?
I can guarantee the flowers.
Yes. Now, around the outside, you can put some nice green stuff.
Is anything wrong? Don't you think Mrs. Bentley will like it?
May I suggest confidentially, miss, that in my humble opinion, it's the attitude behind the thing that's wrong.
What do you mean?
Mrs. B, miss, is not at all what you might call the sentimental sort.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, I have overheard her discuss similar evidences of Mr. Bentley's,
His love for her?
That is a word I never use myself, miss. It's so easily misunderstood if I make myself plain.
You do. I prefer not to discuss my customers, if you don't mind.
If you don't mind, miss, I'll finish by explaining that I've overheard Mrs. B describe such things as this as piffle.
Miss Rand, I'm awfully sorry. I meant to be here earlier. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you.
I'm glad you're pleased.
You've done it beautifully. Give us a cocktail, Morton.
Yes, sir.
You will have a cocktail, won't you?
Yes, thanks.
Oh, Morton, Mrs. Bentley isn't home yet, is she?
No, sir.
Good. That would spoil the surprise. I'm supposed to be a very forgetful husband. I think I've earned the name. So this is meant to show that I'm turning over a new leaf. See?
I think I see very well indeed. Of course, I wouldn't be surprised if you weren't almost a 49% husband.
Oh, I hope I'm better than that.
Well, if marriage is a 50-50 proposition, 49% husband is pretty good rating.
Very agile argument. I shall use that sometime in a divorce hearing.
I thought you only handled corporation cases.
Well, we prefer to, but when a valued client insists, we...
Cocktails, sir.
Thank you. Oh, Morton.
Yes, sir?
What was the wine we served with the soup that evening?
Sherry, sir.
Sherry. That's right, I remember. So it was. Here's to my good luck 3 years ago tonight. Well, as a matter of fact, the good luck was in meeting her, though. I was poor as a church mouse at college and worked so hard that, well, I had to have some sort of exercise, so I played football. Happened to catch a forward pass. It was the only game that Evelyn, that is, Mrs. Bentley, saw the whole season. So, here we are.
To your continued happiness.
Thank you.
You mind if I buy a few things for this place, Georgie Porgy? It needs a woman's touch.
Certainly not, Eve, darling. It's all yours, you know.
Oh, don't. I have to talk. Hello, Roger. Has Mr. Bentley come in?
Let's see. I think this was like that.
Mrs. Bentley is on the telephone, sir.
Yes, excuse me. Yes, Evelyn. Oh, I'm sorry. I planned it. Well, it can't be helped, I suppose. I'll try to find a new doctor for your mother. Perhaps another sanitarium would. Oh, of course I understand, dear. Don't you worry about it.
Morton, will you get my coat, please?
Yes, miss. Well, the party turned into a surprise for me. It's all off. My wife's mother...
Yes, I couldn't help but overhear. I'm sorry.
I shouldn't deny the poor old lady her company in what may be her last days, I know, but... Oh. I beg your pardon.
Really, I should apologize for laughing. But honestly, I didn't know you had one of those things in your whole system.
What things?
Those things that let off steam on boilers so they won't explode.
That must be it. You know, I feel better than I have in months.
An accident, sir?
No, Morton. The boiler just let off a bit of steam.
Amazing. Should I remove the remains, sir?
Yes, please, and serve the dinner right away.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for the cocktail.
Won't you stay and have dinner with me?
Why,
Fine. I promise not to throw the dinner on the floor. Oh, won't you play something? Music, how does it go? Music hath charms to soothe the savage beast.
Breast.
Beast?
Breast. And the rest of it is to soften rocks or bend the knotted oak. I know, and I didn't go to college.
Very well, Mrs. Atlas. No, wrong tempo.
Oh, I love that song. Can you sing without your nose?
Oh, I think so. Would you like to hear this one?
Yes, please.
All right.
Sylvia's hair is like the night, touched with glancing starry beams. Such a face as drifts through dreams. This is Sylvia to the sight, and the touch of Sylvia's hand is as light as milky dawn. When the leaves are golden brown, and the autumn feels the land. Sylvia, just the echoing of her voice brings back to me from the depths of memory all the loveliness of spring. Such a face as drifts through dreams. This
did you learn to sing?
Oh, at the orphanage.
You know, you're a funny man.
Funny?
There's so many sides to you that you keep hidden.
Well, a lawyer has to be somewhat of a well-laundered, if not exactly a stuffed shirt. Otherwise, his class will think him frivolous.
Oh, that would be too bad.
Dinner is served, sir.
All right, Morton. Shall we go in? You know, this isn't exactly potluck, so it should be very good. All but the coffee. We'll go somewhere else for that. Confidentially, the coffee here is rotten. I've never told anyone before, but I had no right to win that one. It's purely a technicality.
And that other case, I love the part where the judge winked at you.
Oh, did I call for this? But it doesn't have to be final. Let's have another, shall we?
Not for me, thanks. I have to get up early. That means I have to go to sleep early.
Oh, I forgot.
So did I, nearly.
You shouldn't have allowed me to let off so much steam.
Oh, I've enjoyed it.
I wish Evelyn could have been here with us.
Yes, that would have been nice. She's probably home by now.
That's right. Well?
Yes, I think we should. Married people sometimes worry about absent mates.
I'd never give a cause to be jealous.
No, I'm sure you wouldn't.
First the prize. I think she looked a pretty good right to here, huh?
The judges shouldn't discuss the candidates, Mr. Corsini.
Ah, see, but still I know. I think I am pretty important fella, eh?
Where's Joe?
He's hiding.
Where?
There.
Joe? Joe!
Yes, ma'am.
You're supposed to be working.
I know, Miss Randall.
Come on out here.
I don't want to be out in the open in this.
Come on out here.
I got friends coming to this show tonight.
You want to help, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, then, now, put your arm around Polly. Polly, put yours around... That's right. Nick, what were you talking to those judges about?
I say these are going to win first prize. They say, no. Not so long as Miss Rand, she stay here.
But why, Nick?
Well, they say the flower are very pretty, but Miss Rand, she's so much prettier, the flower got no chance to win a prize.
Nick, your compliment.
That's pretty good, eh? Excuse me. I got to see some more judge.
Gee whiz. Ain't they beautiful? I got a basket of flowers once. It was about that big. And all the little flowers were diamonds and emeralds and rubies and pearls. And ever since then, I've just loved flowers.
Oh, I can understand that. You just wait here a moment. I want to point you out to someone.
Teddy, I'm so glad you could come. Do you like my exhibit?
Fine. How do you like mine? I brought it with me.
Brought what?
My exhibit. Look.
Hey, Teddy Bear, come on.
You drove me to it. They're getting bigger physically and smaller mentally. Won't you marry me before I have to take her to dinner?
No, Teddy Bear.
Hey, Teddy Bear, come on.
Your last chance. Going.
Gone.
Oh, hello, Georgie.
Oh, how do you do?
Oh, George, isn't this nice?
I wonder if we dare go in.
Oh, no,
May we
dear.
walk in your garden, miss?
Certainly.
Well, hello, Miss Rand. This is Miss Rand, my dear. Mrs. Draper.
How do you do?
How do you do, Mrs. Draper?
I've heard so much about you, Miss Rand. You're quite famous, you know. Those, orchids you send to people and all.
I really mean those orchids, you know, Mrs. Draper. Though, of course, I can't overlook their advertising value.
Of course not. How did you ever get the idea for this garden? Oh! George, look!
What is it now, my dear?
My bracelet. It's gone.
All right, now, let's be calm. Where did you have it last?
Well, let me see. It was on my dressing table,
It's probably
and I...
still there.
I hope you haven't lost it.
Is there a telephone here?
Oh, yes, to the left of the entrance as you go out.
George, will you call up home and find out?
Certainly.
Yes, go now and do it quickly. I'm so worried, Miss Rand. I need your help. Isn't there somewhere here that we could speak privately?
Certainly.
This bill from your shop. How I got it or where doesn't matter. It proves that George has been sending orchids to some woman.
Well, perhaps there's a mistake somewhere.
Oh, no. I've been through this sort of thing before. He's reached the end of his rope. I'm going to divorce him.
Well, surely this is a family affair. I don't see how
But you can help. You can tell me who received those flowers.
Mrs. Draper, I sell so many flowers. It's hard for me to tell just who.
You're protecting George. Well, I don't blame you. No matter what he pays you, I'll give you more. Only...
You must realize that I can't give out such information.
Miss Rand, some people were asking for you.
Thank you, Joe. Excuse me, Mrs. Draper.
Congratulations, Miss Rand.
Thank you.
I want you to meet Mrs. Bentley, Miss Rand.
How do you do?
I'm beginning to understand my husband's growing interest in flowers.
Evelyn, you're embarrassing Miss Rand.
Oh, no, she isn't. Really, Mr. Bentley.
Evelyn, well.
Well, Alice.
Tom, how nice to see you here. How lovely you look, Alice.
Where's George? Don't tell me you came without him.
He's running an errand, the sweet thing. He should be back. Such devotion. I envy you.
I like that.
Excuse me, one of the officials.
Don't let us interrupt.
Tom.
Yes?
There's a business matter I want to discuss with you.
Great, I'll play the next for you. What time tomorrow do you want to see me?
Oh, I can't wait until tomorrow. I must talk to you now.
One of the penalties of being the family retainer. Open for business at all hours.
Well.
Well, George, what's the price of the old ticket tape today?
Sky high. Good evening. The bracelet is safe. Not on the dressing table, though. Right where you always keep it.
Say, we're making free of the family garden. Let's move out and let the others see, shall we?
I'll have everything ready by 12.
Thank you, Miss Rand. Well, why didn't you put us out, Miss Rand? People can't see.
I'm afraid I'm a very bad hostess. I should have asked you to sit.
I know they won't stand comparison, but we should see the other displays.
Tom, that business I spoke
Yes?
of.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Is it private, or can these people hear?
I don't think it would interest them. There's a lovely little arbor over here where we could talk if Miss Rand doesn't mind.
Of course not.
Well, you see, it's strictly confidential. I'm sure you two can find something to talk about. Just wander around. We'll join you later.
Hurry, dear. Goodbye, Miss Rand. Tom told me how kind you were, staying to dinner that night. I was devastated when I found I couldn't be there. But I guess Tom didn't miss me.
I'm sure he did. I hope your mother's better, Mrs. Bentley.
Thanks.
You should win the grand prize, Miss Rand.
Thank you.
You were skating on pretty thin ice with Miss Rand. Eve, what struck you?
I felt like being dangerous. It adds to everything.
Yes, but Tom's a customer of hers, and if she...
Tom wouldn't believe her.
Nevertheless, she'd be a pretty good person to have on our team if...
If what?
Just if, darling. Just if.
But I thought being retained by the year obligated you to handle all cases.
It does, Alice. But don't you think you're acting hastily?
No, I don't. I have something to say about this, and I tell you to file suit immediately.
And if Miss Rand chooses to withhold the one valuable bit of evidence?
Make her tell.
But she has a mind of her own.
So have I. I hope you have, too.
Well, I can't promise anything, but I'll see what I can do.
Case seems perfectly clear to me.
Oh, Miss Rand, can I change my clothes while we move all this tonight?
All right, Joe. And Polly, you stay here and watch these men and see they don't break anything.
Oh, sure. Can I boss them?
A little.
Get along, Joe.
Thank you so much for the use of your office.
You're very welcome.
Will you be here all day tomorrow?
No, the show ends tonight. I'll be in my shop.
Then I shall call on you there if I may.
Anytime.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Good night, Mrs. Draper.
Good night.
Hey, Mr. Rand, what do you think? You got a first prize. By golly, I never was so surprised in all my life. First prize and no grab. What's the matter? You no glad? Look.
Oh, of course I'm glad, Nick.
If our business contacts keep increasing, it might pay me to move my desk here.
Might cause talk.
Yes, quite a scandal, in fact.
When you said scandal, your professional eyes had quite a gleeful twinkle.
Really? Well, my professional heart didn't prompt the twinkle, I assure you. I don't like such things, but once in a great while I'm forced into them. This time it's a divorce case.
Really?
But this one should be fairly simple. Here it is. All in an orchid bill.
Ritz Plaza flowers.
It constitutes what the law accepts as evidence of a disposition toward the charge.
And my part of the procedure?
Merely telling me to whom the flowers were sent.
Sorry, I can't do that, Mr. Bentley.
Surely you remember.
Surely I remember, but I can't tell you.
Can or won't?
Can't, won't, cannot, will not, may not, whichever you like. My business is built on keeping faith with my customers.
Very commendable policy, Miss Rand, but you may be a little over-enthusiastic. Like any other citizen, you have what the law calls a testimonial duty to testify in any litigation to the end that truth may be established.
Your law quotations don't frighten me in the least, Mr. Bentley. Like any other citizen, I have my personal rights.
The party you're protecting is probably not worthy of so much consideration.
Probably not. But that is for me to decide. And all your professional peeping and prying won't...
There are ways and means of making you tell, Miss Rand.
Threatening?
No, warning you. The courts will help me get all the information I want.
I wish you and the courts a great deal of luck.
Can't find me.
Almost anyone could, Eve. Isn't that your car down in front?
I wanted to be here first. I was late. So are you. Cross patch. Aren't you going to tell me something?
Yes. Alice is divorcing me.
When?
I was notified this morning.
Oh, darling. You'll be free.
Yeah, on the face of it, that's a very pleasant prospect. But what am I going to use for money?
Don't be so glum. I have some influential friends who could...
These things sometimes have a very quaint reaction on friends, especially after we've been headlined.
We? They won't know anything about me, will they?
Well, they're bound to, sooner or later.
It won't make a bit of difference after I've set your business connections.
Yes, but that takes time. And Tom has a way of rooting out the facts so quickly.
Tom, what's he...
Yes. He's our attorney. Thought that might interest you.
Tom will believe anything I tell him.
Yes, but he's not our worry. She is. That Rand girl. She likes him. And he's very fond of her, too.
He isn't. He couldn't be. Tom would never hurt me that way.
There might be an angle there.
She can't put one over on me. I can handle her.
Of course you can, Eve, darling. You're so much older than she is.
Oh, Joe, in that box for the Breckenridge home, put some sweet peas in for the cook with a card wishing her speedy recovery for her indigestion.
Miss Rand.
How do you do, Mrs. Bentley?
I'd like so much to speak to you alone, if I may.
Surely. Joe, vamos. Well?
I hardly know where to begin. It's all so difficult and hard to explain. I came for Tom's sake.
He sent you?
Oh, no. It's about this horrible thing I've done to him.
You're sorry, I know.
Oh, please, you must believe me. I love him. I was jealous of his work, his books, his office, his eternal driving toward success. I didn't realize it was all for me. He's so proud of what he thinks I am.
Yes, he's told me.
Then you know it would kill him if he found out.
You want me not to tell?
Yes. It isn't too late for me to make amends, and I will. My whole...
Your secret is perfectly safe with me, Mrs. Bentley.
But in court, he's so relentless. He'd demand that you tell.
I'm rather hard to frighten.
Others have been, too. But he breaks them. Here. This woman will admit that she received the orchids from George. It will satisfy Tom.
Perjury won't help.
It won't do any harm.
I have no intention of becoming involved in any way, shape, or form. It won't even be necessary for me to go to court.
Then I can rely on you?
To do the best for all concerned.
Oh, thank you.
Goodbye, Mrs. Bentley. What is it, Polly?
Golly's got a badge.
Miss Rand, I got a subpoena here for you from district court to act as witness in Draper versus Draper. Failure to appear, it's my duty to tell you, constitutes an offense against the court. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
This bill of yours to the defendant for those flowers, Miss Rand, has established that he was sending flowers to someone other than his wife. Will you now name the woman to whom those orchids were sent?
No.
Again, I ask you, why not, Miss Rand? And this time, if you will be so kind, please spare the court your philosophy of ethics, which, after all, are abstractions for the bench to rule upon, not you as a factual witness in the case. Other witnesses seem to have been well coached for the defendant's case instead of mine. You are counted upon to give us the truth, against all intimidation or coercion or...
I object to counsel's insinuation. Mr. Bentley will permit, Your Honor. I suggest that in refusing to answer that question, the witness is within her rights, under the rule of testimonial privilege that relates to trade secrets.
Yes, yes.
If counsel remembers his elementary instruction in the rules of evidence, he will realize that the only privileged communications are those between government officials, client to attorney, from patient to physician, and from penitent to priest.
This question does not call for disclosure of privileged communication. Objection overruled.
But it is a trade secret, Your Honor.
Restrain yourself, miss. The court will act on these things, not you.
I beg your pardon.
I insist on an answer.
Repeat the question.
To whom did you deliver those flowers?
The court requires that you answer that question, Miss Rand. I warn you, Miss Rand, your refusal to answer will be judged as contempt of court, punishable by imprisonment. The law leaves me no alternative.
Again, Miss Rand, to whom were those orchids sent?
I cannot say.
Does that mean that you will not say?
I suppose so.
The court finds you in contempt and orders you committed for 10 days to the county jail.
But, Your Honor,
You will please proceed with your case, Mr. Bentley, if you have any case left.
This way, miss.
Draper versus Draper being heard here?
It's all finished. Just a little late, son.
Why didn't they wait? Comedian knows I can't get up before 3 o'clock.
Oh.
They'll hear from me about this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. That's on the wagon and be out at 5 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, may I see your manager?
Well, if you want to order the flowers by name, I'd better wait on it.
Oh, but I must see your manager. Oh, but young man,
Mr. Stuyvesant waiting to see you.
Oh, good morning, miss, or madame.
Oh, are you the manager?
Well, pro tem for the time being, yes.
But I thought...
Oh, Miss Rand, she hasn't arrived yet. Can't I help you?
Well...
After all, that's what we're here for.
Can you be discreet?
I think so. You know, courtesy's our motto.
Well, then I want 2 dozen sweetheart roses, and I want them sent to... Oh. I think I'd better wait for Miss Rand. You see, I don't want anyone to know what stage door I'm having them sent to. Oh, you know how I feel.
Well, not exactly, but you know, the customer is always right.
I'll be back.
Don't forget.
Hey, Stuyvesant! I was too late. You bring Miss Rand here, eh?
Oh, she wouldn't hear to it. Didn't want anyone to see her in her squeaky shoes in her prison palace.
Ah, she's a sweet. She's just like my whole family. They never want somebody see them come out of the jail.
Well, as long as that's the way she wants it, maybe we better let on we didn't know she was in jail at all.
That's right. Maybe she's a little,
Hey, Nick, Mr. Stuyvesant, look out front.
Oh, she's a come.
Now we have
Oh, Miss Rand, give us a quick smile, will you, please? Thanks.
Ah, Miss Rand, it is glad to see you. Huh?
Welcome, Polly, Joe.
I tell you when, eh? I say now.
Sure. Okay.
Did you see Killer McGuire in jail? I think he's so cute.
Oh, Polly, she was in the ladies' section.
Oh.
You shouldn't mention jail. It's bad enough.
Teddy.
Oh, yeah, I thought I'd help out while you're away. Business has been better since you went to jail.
You must tell me all about it.
Excuse me. Now.
Are you sure you were in the picture, Nick?
Sure, Mike. I sent them to Italy. They have no picture of me in Italy since I am knee-high to a Mickey Mouse.
Must autograph one for me, too. Oh, Nick, I'll be right out and see if I remember how to run a flower business.
I was just doing a little office work. I'll answer it. Ritz Plaza, flowers. Ritz Plaza flowers. Oh, good morning, Mrs. Martin. No trouble at all. What they did? Well, did you clip the stems a little and put in a quinine tablet like I told you?
Teddy, you didn't. It isn't quinine, it's aspirin. Besides that, it's wrong anyway. Here, let me.
Hung up. Seemed a little put out about something. You know, I mailed those all out yesterday. They came back this morning without remittances. Pretty hard to collect any money these days.
Return for postage. Teddy, you're marvelous.
You know, I like being in business. I'd join the businessmen's club if I could sing a little better.
Well, I guess you want to start right in.
Sooner the better.
Incidentally, your attorney is waiting to see you.
My attorney?
Yes, Mr. Bentley.
Oh.
Well, I thought he was yours.
Well, tell him later in the day.
Okay. She says she'll see you, Mr. Bentley, later in the day.
Oh, I meant much later.
I came to apologize.
Apologies not necessary.
I'm sorry the way it all happened.
I'm not. Not a bit.
The case has been closed, thrown out of court. I suppose you know that.
Yes, I read it. Too bad.
Too bad.
Yes. I wanted you to win.
You did? Will you tell me then, please, why you were so stubborn?
Because I thought I saw a chance. An outside chance of mending something that had been broken.
Those things can't be mended. The Drapers will never
I wasn't thinking of the Drapers.
Oh, excuse me. Took me almost an hour to get on this double entry system. Now that I have it, I can see lots of mistakes. They should be more careful, Camellia.
Teddy, Mr. Bentley isn't interested in...
Oh, he can hear about this. As a matter of fact, I think he should.
Teddy, you don't understand about this.
Yes, I do. A simple mistake in these books caused that whole rumpus. Here it is. A bill was sent to George Draper when it should have been sent to Thomas Bentley because the orchids were sent to Mrs. Bentley. See, right here, delivered every afternoon before 5 o'clock.
Teddy, you shouldn't have looked at those books.
Well, yes, I should. I should look through all the books. There might be more mistakes like that. But don't worry, Camellia. I'll fix things up.
Tom, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Excuse me again, Camellia. Suppose I left my gloves. Oh, here they are.
Leaving already, Teddy?
Oh, I still have important work to do. See, when Polly ties up the packages, she likes to have me hold my finger on the knot.
Morton, is Mrs. Bentley home?
Yes, sir. She's upstairs, sir.
Will you tell her I'll see her in the drawing room?
Yes, sir.
Morton.
Sir?
You can start packing my things.
Will you be gone for long, sir?
Yes.
Come.
I beg your pardon, madam. Mr. Bentley is home.
Oh?
He's in the drawing room. He asked me to say that he wished to see you there.
Very well.
He also told me to start packing his things, madam.
Thank you. Oh, Tom. Morton told me. I'll be so happy to see you get a good rest. You've earned it.
In one way or another, I think I have.
But, dear, there's one thing. Do you think I should leave town with Mother so...
That won't be necessary.
You are a darling. I've never seen you so upset. I know. It's that Draper affair. I think it's mean of her to force you into it when you told her she didn't have a case.
She's going to reopen proceedings.
She can't she?
Yes. I found out what I needed to know.
So, that snip of a Rand girl finally told.
Yes. She thought she was protecting me.
She lies.
I'm afraid she didn't.
She's in love with you. She'll do anything to get you. I won't stand for it.
There's very little you can do.
You mean you won't let me sue you?
No.
You can't. You. Oh.
Bentley?
Thank you. You say there's a year time limit?
There is, Mr. Bentley, but if you wish more...
Thank you, no. A year will be plenty, I think.
Mumbo, jumbo, presto, changeo. What do you think? What else do you think?
No Easter eggs.
That's right. What do you mean, sir? Rabbits always bring Easter eggs. Oh, you want to speak to me? What's that? Oh, I see. What do you think?
Don't want to hear you sing.
Play louder.
Mr. Bentley, you're back.
Miss Tiller. Too late?
No, I really think there's
you'd enjoy seeing it all over again if you were Professor Hippo.
We'll see. Now we'll see if Mr. Benjamin Bunny has kept his promise. Mumbo, jumbo, presto, changeo! Now for a riddle. What is it that's cold and tastes good? What goes with it? And when do we want it? All right. We'll all march out slowly to the tune of the Flub Dub and the Big Blue Bear. Do you think a married woman should be in business?
Not if she wants to make a good home.
Right. You know, I saw Nick Corsini in Naples. He'll buy you out.
You're proposing.
Miss Rand, the court requires you to answer the implied question.
The answer is yes. But take off that nose so I can see who you are.